2, 1. Hello! Welcome to the stream! Whoever's here. Because I don't know one, but I'm still gonna say it. Gotta be Jim, bro. There we go. I'm just gonna do this way. Hi! So I'm going to... I should up my volume. There we go. So I'm in a dark room right now, so my VTuber avatar will probably be freaking out later. Anyways, I'm gonna try doing 7.0, finishing it on one sitting, and if I can't, I'll probably do the rest of it on Sunday. But I'm gonna try it on one sitting. If not, yeah.
It is a pleasure as always, Drac'to. Have you been able to relax lately?
Excuse me.
Wonderful. As busy as you have been with the right of succession among other things, you deserve the opportunity to experience Tuliololo at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Zagyatia Tai is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brock Eva, will look after you.
I have a hat. I like this hat. It has character. The feather, it's all worn out.
Well, if it isn't Drac'to. Alone today, are you? I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then you're on the house. Around the house, considering a token of gratitude if you help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find the table. I'll bring you a meal as soon as it's ready.
Nice.
You still love tacos, I hope. You still love... you eat so many when you turn 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? No, really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right, sorry. Shit. Right, sorry. It's still strange for me too. Just the other day you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off to Yosolani, and you're a grown man with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. You're still family, and you can always rely on me. Relying? That feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. I can't even start a fire without an assistant at the new job. Back in Alexandria, we had electrodes. If I needed fire, all I had to do was to press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here I'm helpless, a culinarian who can't even light the stove, the way the others in the kitchen stare at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd been told the tales, but it seems like life is really different within the dome. My wife and children, I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're my family too. I do whatever necessary to make it work.
Oh god, why is she here already?
I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tulili Oldo. Val Wuklamat. To aid life, folks like yours, we've established a support group at the Wings of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to stay alive. You need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hoping that you can make things easier. Make it. That's exactly what I need. I definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you.
Please don't notice me. Please don't notice me. Please don't notice me.
Oh, look what it is! It was just about to go and find you, Drac'to. You don't mind the company, I hope. I can use a bite to eat myself.
Why did I nod? I should have nodded. God, I had such a blissful 6 months without you. How long that been?
Ah, the tacos have never disappointed. So, what have you been up to lately? I've been making a name for myself as the Arcadian. You're fighting in the arena in Alexandria. By facing off against tough opponents, I wager you've honed your skills even further. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace. But whenever I find a moment, I look to walk the streets to talk to them. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now. As I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Kona and I have something we want to discuss with you. As Dawn servants, do you have time to come to the palace? Great! I'll go ahead. Please come join us once you have finished. Master Drac'to, it is always an honor. Val Kona has stepped away to attend to pressing matters, but he shall join you within before long.
Oh, Kryle's here. And Graha? And the twins?
Val Kona summoned us. Though in truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Henshi culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening our alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Cryo and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. 12 years ago. With our reports, we still... 12? 20, it's 20, sorry. 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Ingrid and Urianje have left to resume their tour of Tyrol. Ishola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key of yours, keep the key in your keeping at some point. Well, I've been doing research on it myself. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You're like to be stuck with her for a while.
Yes! Ha-ha! The wife will be back.
As for Stinian, we know neither where he is nor what he's doing. Some things never change.
Where's my boy Aaronville? Where's my boy Aaronville?
My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. Ah, so what can we do for you? Honestly, hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. Matter of which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held for in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Gluja and his administration has invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yasoluni, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were ceremonies that was conducted in Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal of the queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. When Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, and they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Guluja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphine as well, after all. That would be inappropriate. Because in your own her demise, I take it. But we have no choice. We had to stop her from killing countless innocents. I won't force you to attend the funeral if it makes you feel uncomfortable. But when I represent Turoliolo in an official capacity, I'd like if you could be there to watch over others. Over everything. Choice is an illusion! I fear the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphine was, to her people, and to others, so let us stand with you. And it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Guluja in the back room. Crossroads. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it's best that Lamachi represent us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When the work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. But to have Father's throne still here, it makes me fear he is close by. I'm quite happy if it remains for a while. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you might have heard, we are able to find the data on forgotten funeral customs amongst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who rue the loss of culture due to proliferation of regulators. We're grateful to their foresight. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who'd officially take a part though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shield is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkey's system and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I've needed to use my authority properly. Duteous as ever, I see. By way of a treat, I brought you a galampu chocolate. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lamachi, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what is the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees, even. Considering that all of the world used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? What is up with my mouse? Although I've been in the backs of there was no time to see the sights. I would like to take a closer look at the equipment. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think that he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we fill our own. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold a funeral, it speaks to their enduring love for Sphene. It's a relief to see that Kaluja is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. From a group that's plotting to undermine the Tyrant King, the Shadow, to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the blunt of the planet. One of the numbers even can better explain what the ceremony will entail. I am the light heavyweight champion. The flowers are being handed out at Harnix Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak to. Wait, Ghost-sen? He was apparently Sweden's heir and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. I'm still running a regulator. I'm Val Woklam out of Tuliolola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Spheen's funeral. We are honored. Truly. I have seen you before from a distance, but never have had the pleasure. I am Gosen, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administrating affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty, the flowers are being handed out at the counter, yonder, alongside the regulators. What? You need to wear regulators for the funeral? Well, rest assured they are not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in Alexandria of old wore tokens for mourning upon their person when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We're yet to produce enough for everyone, but we've distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Spheen. Remember her and her kindness as you may make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceeding will soon begin in the plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. Maybe this time it's gonna be voiced. I feel like this should be voiced. I have my hand on the spacebar just in case.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Spheen brought us together.
Was the original Spheen my reflection?
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. and let us keep our beloved queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
That is
Perhaps
a
we
illusion.
should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
It's a delusion.
As
It's an illusion.
expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
Remember
I want
that
to
we once
remember my
lived.
father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
No.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
Excuse me. Hey, Guloja. Hey, Guloja. Do you really know nothing at all of your mother? She'll search the system for information on residents, but the only Momuja she found listed was my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memory, she should have been there. But she wasn't. Well, then you here means she was here too. Well, that you're here means that she was here too. Inside the dome, there can't have been another way about it.
You want to know your mother.
I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. And if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, that's what you want. Fine. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well. I believe I speak for the others too. But I can't bother you with this. We've already come for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. light! Let there be light in my room! Besides, it seems to...
God, this stupid tracker and my Asian eyes makes me squint when I'm not squinting.
Besides, in seeking to help about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge and can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright, thank you everyone. Assuming either memory nor record of the Galuja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Drac'to, if you would make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God I'm by myself. Woo! Woo! Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Game Master. Thank you, new Game Master, who don't stick me with your NPC.
Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mimosa woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zeroja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at a Tonowa-Aten settlement to the north of Everkeep. It's a place called Yuiyawa. The resilience and won their loyalty when you saved them from some crisis or another. Or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka.
That's an NPC.
A Mimoja woman? Their people have never been a common sight around here. By the last time I saw one would have been around the dome coming down over our heads. She was among the entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Toriolol after their mission. But if they remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. You're looking for a Mimoja lady. Mimoja woman? Ah, Galuja's mother. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zoroja, and only what my father's told me. He said that before the door cut us off from the outside world, a Torol Vizrol had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zoroja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted the Felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feats in the past. Head to the Black Rooms. Oh, you're back too. I told Shell all about your search. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find out anything useful. None of the people I questioned had heard of a Momoja woman before. Solution 9 is vast indeed. Even the teleporters we could cover about a small potion. Lamachi didn't seem to have much luck. How about Aljufe? While I failed to learn anything directly related to Kuroja's mother, I did find information which may shed some light upon Zoroja. Zoroja rarely made public appearances, so the people had no idea how he spent most of his time. Yet I believe therein lies the key to the answer we seek. Kuroja has told me all. Where Precious previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. So you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see the combinations we might draw. So Zoroja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yosolani, amongst whom were a female Momoja. His mission was to rid the region of a Toril Vajral, and I believe it's safe to say that it was a crisis in Yuwayawata he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the village with recovery efforts, then they could have gotten trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Yuwayawata. People lived there up until a decade ago, and Zoroja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers might be ideal. And if this Momoja woman had remained there, they might have had occasion to come in contact. I see. But what could Zoroja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zoroja's steps, Braha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Organics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the king's direct order. This is the time I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard were believed to have been under the king's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any material and equipment needed would have been manufactured in Everkeep, within Everkeep even. So if we look into transportation records,
If I make an angry face, I get angry.
there it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation. But a large delivery was being made to Uwiyawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure out all of this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture of form against the form. And even some memories fade. And even should memories fade, footsteps remain to mark the path of those we walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So we'll be investigating this secret facility in Uwiyawata then. And this time I want you to come along, Uloja. Uwiyawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. So the power cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been in over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright, be careful everyone.
Yasolani Field Station. Now accessible. One moment, please, for I must use the restroom before I continue this.
GTO thing. Alright, dungeon time. Dungeon time? Dungeon time! I'm going in blind! Yasolani Field Station. Oh, that was quick. It was all faster than I thought it would be. Let's do this! Boys and girls and gentlemen of all shapes and sizes. We are now headed into Yasolani. Oh. Come on, face. Register. Now let's do this, boys and girls. Why is he here? It's a Pictomancer. Man, Pentamelon and everything.
Psycho Crusher!
No, everybody's wearing their crown. I should wear my crown.
$705? That's a terrible number.
This is a neat place. What the hell is that? Is that a rabbit? Is that a were-rabbit? Is that Carbuncle? Is that Proto-Carbuncle again? Roll his roll. This is Proto-Carbuncle all over.
my star. Look at that hole. Oh, that looks good.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
Echo power! Time to meet the mother of Goluja.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures, but in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me.
Teishalja, mother of Galuja.
You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
Oh, he knows what she wants.
That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Are you all right?
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kaniloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishalja there.
That's where we're going next then.
Teishalja. I wish I could see it into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there isn't any other Mamulja woman here for a long time, I couldn't even imagine what my mother looks like. But when I visit Turo, Troiolo and Solsum, I was finally able to picture it in my mind. And one day I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well.
Let's go with skill speed.
Well, we've discussed the purpose of the research conducted here. The traces of it that remains might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as a way to an upper level.
Wow, this is interesting. Damn, somebody bled out a lot. Oh.
Kid, you shouldn't be looking at these things. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already met them? I think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to the Zoroja so absolute? It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find a key. A lift can be seen beyond the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. I wonder what Big Look would make of this research into transferred souls. This isn't magic research, this is more scientific research about the soul transference. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key amongst the belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here.
Sure, young lady.
They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they won't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transfers a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes. I'm good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today, bit offhand. A feeder. Cannot help it so strong. Hunger. Always hungry. Can't control. Eat. I must eat. And eaters must eat. You find nothing that resembles a viable key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. Supply of the stuff in cavern. You find a verification key. What? Bullshit! Bullshit! You found the key? Great! I'll call the others. It's the observatory. I didn't expect it to be so similar, but this is far cry from the temple that held Vagramandia. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there is an auxiliary system in place to ensure the monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warning indicates various anomalies related to the seal's failure. Most likely for a blessing, we managed to fail the beast before it could cause harm. Right then. Let's see if we can find some clues about Goluja's mother. I think I can use the terminal. Shale taught me how. There's so much data. I don't what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by including the name of Teshalja. I brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Teshalja, administrator of experimental treatment law, research law. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it would take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back rooms and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to a storage device I brought. He's a whiz kid. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way out here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more of my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Yuiawata for the parole withdrawal he wanted to power, no matter the cost. Kiluash is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. I'm not so afraid. I will not soon forget our visit to the facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. I admit the Tyrol withdrawal gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who failed the mighty Vagremandia. Yes, that was me. All me. I'm glad we can find what we sought in the abandoned facility. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless want to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shay. You're heading to the back rooms. Galuja has no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. You found data. You found information on Galuja's mother. Never cease to amaze me. The data will be in good hands with Shale. Having now spent some time in these harsh enviros, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a sturdy presence this fiend was to her people. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I've been thinking it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found across Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. Yeah, I'm gonna learn I want to learn. Welcome back. Galuja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to proceed to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, their moods have us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. LSA isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Tyrol remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason too. The journey home won't be as easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folks who's been leaving for Tyrol, ones with no elders to care for. Word of the problem has reached us in Tyroliola. My brother is doing all he can to see the Zoctorol Railroad Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the track only goes as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot would be necessary. Even so, the railroad should make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I cannot say. I'm giving her a British accent by accident. I cannot say. Well, I left for this village, but when I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. Well, but while Shale works on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves.
God, why do I have to go with you?
To Shaoloni Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed.
Hot.
Vow of Resolve and Drac'to to boot. What can I do to you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the Rares. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tyrol that cannot make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Resolve is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. I scratched that on his way. Oh, Arnville.
Not Arnville. Yeah, that was Arnville.
Stop that. Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of the Gleaner. I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You're here about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it's only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamachi has explained in the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station in a matter of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other concerns. But now we're back on our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants from Millwall Hetchoan. That is the Rinak. Though the Tesoro have followed them as none too pleased about their Hatosso has being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address the complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik preferred grazing areas though? That's odd. It's odd that they're getting so close to it into the first place. The Ronik grazing patterns has shifted since the track was laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Miwa Hisoan for their insight. As a major proponent for the railroad, I had a duty to assist in their matter, and I too will hear what the Hisoro have to say about it. They're the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Hiwato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hesuaro encampment if you like. Pussy little bird. Pet. That a dude or a chick, I forget. That's Kona, Vow of Resolve. Reason, is it not? And can't believe it. As committed as the Hisato are to the traditions, they are amendable to unfamiliar. Amendable to the unfamiliar, or so I'm told. A prior visit to Hisaro was also a railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. Vow of Resolve and Vow of Reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Miwa Hisoa? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of Zoctoral Rail.
Oh, my finger. My fingies. Oh, the pain.
You must have the note noted the Renek's unexpected change of behavior. My son, Sepetto, has been looking into the matter. Sepetto? Normally we've kept the Renek to keep to their 4 favorite grounds nearby for a while yet. Despite the thoroughly searched, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Pirayana and Yentane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would. Instead, push westward towards your railroad. It certainly seems no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, shall they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hisaro would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hisaro descent. My parents traveled with the Ranuk as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by the nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. I chanced encounter with for kind Helu. I don't need this reminder though. Was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade, and I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tiroliolo market, and that is where the Dawntrail were found and adopted. I have already been in the place sometimes when Namachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her the suffering. And as this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I've never heard of Rani choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Sotoro willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some extraordinary circumstance. I cannot say. The idea the idea of following in their footsteps that I might make excuse for their actions never much appeared to me. As it's often case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hisatoro may arise from the fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dance servant indeed. Please teach me of the Ranuk and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted in the meantime. Your companions are welcome to go look around. Will you learn of Hesoro culture with me? I would be too... I should be to approach this with a fervent curiosity with you and my sister share. But it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. We'll learn more of the Ranik, and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process, we'll find the answers we seek. God, that reminds me so much of Bagheeta. A metaphor would be Fantasio, that grove there. God, I gotta stop working. My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them at that. It would be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servant as we once did with Kalu Jaja. The quickest way to learn about our ways of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I am ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tours. Now, introduce yourselves to everyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later to share what we've learned. The one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job. Mind you, a comb of the type you've used to would just get lost in tangles, not like as not. Chapetto sent a Rorik brush with you, did he? How like him? Now, just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. We're done. What's the girl? Well done. With least except for our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible susceptible to its coat also made it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. You're learning of the Pizarro way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, or rather than talking your ear off, let me test your power of deduction. I will answer with easier to recall later if I arrive to them myself. Ahem. Our Hesero provide us with something that we use in medicine. Potpourris and soap to drive away pests and to sustain our fire. What is it? It's a dung again. It sounds like that there's a story here, but there is indeed the correct answer. You've discovered mere use of unique chips over time. With each a boon to our way of life. Where there is the need, our Hetsuro always provides. God. This won't do. The wind will get through right. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sew. Oh, there are precisely what I need. Should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Renique hair hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. How do they move the giant aether crystal there? I'm afraid I finished with my task for the time being, but since you are so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Renique are our Kisura, our guides. And we travel through the turn of the seasons. We trust them as to lead us to fertile lands as all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits in two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hesero must also part with half of our numbers. You may think it strange and stressful custom, but over the years it seemed in us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom as a Hestro. Where's the scene of Koana using sniper rifle? You smell the smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us. You even look the part. I have wondered how Valcona is getting on. I assume he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems he wished to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is. But are you a moon cat or a sun? I feel like you're all sun cats. Let me get a good look at your eyes, boy. Apologies for my... Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing in the Renique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither, and my companion's inclination to force us back to trail seemed inappropriate. Ah, but how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. When I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hisso, rather than tread at man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though. At times I lacked experience to know. Mine is not the only way. Though at times I lack the experience to know, otherwise my inability to conceive of how to decide decisions might be right do not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ranuk, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish as act as I once believed. I don't know how there's an epiphany with this. I have no way to know, of course, but regardless, this has no bearing on our present concern. We are here to serve the people of Tyrol, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we're doing today. And I would endeavor to remain curious, especially with the Hisso, and are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Valkona. You're welcome amongst our herd anytime.
They're not even high quality food.
Please be voiced. Kuna, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hisso. They nourish the Hisoro as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are to the equal of any man, not beast to be tamed. Moreover, Ronik are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coat to keep them near, they may ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hesuro will never cage them, and neither shall we. To control their migration patterns or capture those who wander too close to tracks is out of the question. Then it's particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we are able to visit the Ranik once favored grazing grounds. As we are told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ranik, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, this sort of behavior in the fauna will be associated with natural disaster, earthquake, landslides, and the like. Though the Hisaro would have surely put two and two together when the cause geological. I measured the area ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disturbance, but I did notice one abnormality. A strong etheric signature to the east moves across the plains, albeit slow. Is this the trial hook? And a powerful one, like as not. A predator given in the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something that's very large fangs. It cannot be a Turu Hesto, an Akuma. Turu Hestro? A Ranik River in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creature, things that steal Hesto in the night. Is another investigative one. You're a sun cat. Ranik can fend off any predator with their horns, but not the Turu Heso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusual thick hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the riots in the northeast, and some herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ranik consternation is clear. As it's our next move, we must drive this reeve of our way, and they must return to their grazing land in peace. Never fear. We shall make certain that the beast threatens you no more. Oh, I'm stunned. Oh, it's almost 10. Oh, there. The Ranik River is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot leave it to roam unchecked. But it won't be for us to run off in search of it without having made proper preparation. And if others return from the crossing to plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us if it resistant behavior and when it might be found. You proceed through the coming battle will be saved a certain point in the event that you are defeated. You'll be able to try again from the most recent defeats. Please note that if you enter battle, assume associated with other quests or log from the game, this process will be lost. 730 eye level.
Is coming this way!
Otoro Hetsu.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less...
Ah, shit.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Give me animal handling checks.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
Psycho pressure!
All or nothing, then. seems that did the trick.
Ransom! Probably something big.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Time for the big one.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There! Flat one there! Not so fast!
Not the glasses!
Even should it cost me my life.
No, your life is more important than cattle, man. You're literally a ruler of a country.
I will save the Hetzel!
Yeah, are we doing Monster Hunter? This is Monster Hunter.
Kona! Are you alright?
So...
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
we have a lipo gun, a dual blade, and a switch axe.
To fear.
Or a greatsword? Switch axe, because greatsword will be a dark knight.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer! You find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Psycho Crusher!
Not even a scratch!
I need some time to think, will you? Must have a weakness, and I will find it. Keep it busy. I need time.
Right! Go for the legs!
current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it! One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... you're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me! This is going to hurt.
There we go.
We did it. XIV, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehua Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni-Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeni-Hetta. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect.
To know that the Hetsos are safe is more than enough. Yet would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we are able to avenge my parents? It is the least I owe them, after all this time. Drac'to, I thank you for standing by me. As Dawn servant and as the loft imperfect man behind the mantle, now let us return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronek strain from their favorite grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle may be capable of emitting impulses of aether strong enough that they would shy away from the track as on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into panic. If we can achieve this, it will be far sight better than a traditional whistle. More effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shalone Station, beginning and work on it then. Waklika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. The train would be ready in no time. A variety of artisans from across the world has come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Kona proposed. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacement outside the city. You don't worry too much. I went through during... You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. You look pleased about something. Good news for the real world, I take it. So the Ronek was avoiding a predator. Smart ones, as they... Are they? They are. And Val Kona not too bad himself. What with his whistle idea? Sit tight. We'll have this train on tracks before you know it. Oh, my neck. My neck. Please be voiced.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new!
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel. And we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're...
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through.
Hey, wait, why am I not on the train? I should be on the train. What the?
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Choctaw Railroad is back in service.
Choctaw. For a while there, we were real worried that we would never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First, Shalone, and then the continent. Watch out, Dawntrail! Here we come. I share the sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operation. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our work, I trust you can handle the matches in Alexander de la Machi. Crossroads. Well, it's possible that Share made some headway by now, and regardless, we shall spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Share, what have you What do you have her working on? Galuja's mother. I'd fear the same in his shoe, had felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kafkiwa we met may have only been a simulacra, but her memory was real. Look at I wouldn't search for her. I needn't search for what she left behind because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Speaking of which, you're carrying the tiny weeny Kifkiwa? What? No! It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer. And I thought it was a good souvenir as well as any. Whatever you say, for what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you in your travels. Hey, yes, well, you're off to the dome, aren't you? Now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. Seems if there is aught I can do for the people there. Such change though it is, I will consider it my home. Of course. We can give you the full story on the way. Looks like we arrived in good time. Arnvid is wearing the Kafkiwa that we made? That makes me happy. So Zoroja was conducting secret research in Yawata. I have some memory of the place from my childhood. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Galuja here waiting any longer than necessary. We're the twins. You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out for an energy tonic? A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Sheol has nearly finished processing the data. She'll be able to share her findings with us immediately. Oh, wife. I've interrupted something, I getta. Why, Yeshtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate and Skynote's Nete for now, so I've shifted my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have company from an expert on electrodes. I'll be taking a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. Please see if you have forgotten. Once I've made headway in living memory. The key in your keeping shall be the next subject for my scrutiny.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishulja herself.
Taishulja.
While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in...
Several audio files will now play in sequence. Please stand by.
My name is Taishulja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vitral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tulyulal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold
a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No!
Well then.
Get it away from me. Get the thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where I do.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother...
Hey, Gololcha.
Shit. Shit.
Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happy or... But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
I was like, give me that key. She was like, give me that key. What a mess. If the dome had not appeared, Tashelja's tale would have been very different. Yet, whether or not she would have been happy, I cannot say. I gave him way too much of a deep voice. It may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Zorojo was a good brother to me. Anyways, and I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as a family was a lie, but by some
token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay. I want to know more about my parents, and now I do, and I don't regret it. I have Lamachi and Kona and you, Drac'to. I am not lonely now. Tasselja left written records as well. I'll compile them for Galuja. Perhaps something in them would be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Galuja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with it. He is a strong one, though. You needn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Tasselja simply wanted someone to know how she felt, to understand. It's better to know a profound response if one is so young. Although I wish he didn't have to. Galuja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It is fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I've got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to act. Listen, Galuja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I'm ready to head to living memory with you. I am planning to be a thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. A word before you leave. Our network's already spread thin. It has spread word of the rail. We expect people to be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tiroliolo was eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned with getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with people ourselves. Let's start at Lay Note 9.
Ah shit, I didn't read. Whatever. Work limit, I don't really care.
People look uneasy. Did something...
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunderyards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right. And a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of light.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators... I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be bliss. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how...
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new...
Look! It's Queen's...
Okay.
What?
Help, Queensfiend! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to...
I don't understand. You there, Gusson. What's the meaning of...
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resort. But Her Majesty Queensfiend is paying visit...
What are you talking? Sphene is dead. We all placed flat.
A funeral? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them.
Regulator brain control.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories? This is no way to live.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded. You needn't fret, however.
All of us shall be made
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon... This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless. And thence...
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of...
This is
Let's return to the back
great.
room.
Actually, really good.
I need to calm down. And
There's aught to report yet, but we have eyes and ears out in Everkeep heritage found. Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are the Endless... Seriously, what was that? Queen Sphene has returned. How? As you saw Sphene on your own eyes then, so it wasn't someone else. We heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumor spread throughout the district like wildfire. Without the vessel terminal, how does she propose to create new Endless? We must contact Ystrola as soon as possible. We only caught the proclamation from distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed with the Meso terminal shutdown. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, 'tis no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is that their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. 'Tis if their memories have been erased. Given that the memories of Oblivion remains unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play being the Queen of Reason. And the guys, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria would be on her side. We need to find out who she really is.
Dime. And
While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient, until Oblivion's network turns up and lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. When in doubt, go direct in. Meanwhile who? Meanwhile, in living memory. Oh God, you stole her. Please be fine.
Where am I? My people, are they safe? Why am I?
So there's two Sphenes. But which one is fake? In fear of death, the people turn to the Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Their fates to learn. Crossroads! Alright. Let me see my achievements. Of Neo Horizons. Right. That is it for me for today. Haha! I will not be streaming tomorrow. Well, actually, depending on what happens. And on Sunday, maybe, depending on what happens, I'll be back to Beautiful Refantasio! Then if I finish Metal 4 on Sunday, I'll do... I don't know what I'll do on Monday. But thank you for watching, and if you can, like and subscribe.